Hello. So I just wanted to talk about two books that I've read recently and, sort of give my thoughts and opinions on them. They both came out within the last 5 years, so I consider that a good enough window for a review to happen. The first book that I've been reading, these are both YA, by the way. I am almost 20 years old, so I'm a little out of the range for YA. But I still like to read it because, I don't know, it's really fun. There's a lot of plot involved. You don't have to go through and analyze and pick out every little detail, which I do like doing because that's what I do at school. I'm an English major, blah blah blah. But sometimes it's just nice to sort of at least turn most of it off. It never fully goes away, but at least turn part of the analyzing off and then just be able to read. So, yes, both of these are YA, out of my age range. I did take that into consideration when thinking about these, so yeah. The first one is The Riverman by Aaron Starmer. There's a glare. I got it from the library, so it has this nice plastic covering on it. This is basically about a 12-year-old boy who gets asked by a classmate of his to write her biography, and she tells him about this world that she can go to while she's sleeping, and everything that she thinks can come true, and she constructs this whole story in her head about this place, and then it all comes into being. And there's other kids who can do that too. The Riverman is the antagonist, and he can come into these children's worlds if they invite him without really knowing who he is, and then he can steal all of the color and all of the life out of their world, and the only thing that's left is this very colorful river, I think. And in real life, the children go missing from their bedrooms, and then their parents can never find them, which it's a very, very interesting setup for the book. It's set in 1989, so that's interesting. I didn't actually finish it, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with the book itself. I think if when I was 13, 14, and 15, I would have read this and I would have really liked it. It wasn't really compelling to me, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with it. This was just a for fun book that it didn't really sort of keep my interest. I have a hard time with that with YA books and male protagonists or male narrators, especially at the age that the narrator Alistair is at. There's sort of that masculinity there, especially because it is 1989, that sort of turned me off, and I didn't really like it that much. Masculinity, interesting, but not really what I go for now for fun reading. So I think if I was less aware of the toxic nature of masculinity, yeah, I would have liked it more, but I did not, and I will not be finishing it, which is sad because the cover art is super cool, and the spine is really cool too. The second one that I read was Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. According to this peely little grody sticker right there, it was an Abe Lincoln Award nominee in 2012. And this is about a girl who gets attacked by wolves when she's younger, but one of the wolves saves her and gets the rest of them off her, and then for years, I think 6 years after that, she sees the wolf that saved her off in the forest, and she like, ooh, he has yellow eyes, look at that wolf, I like that wolf. And she like keeps the interest in the wolves that attacked her for those 6 years. One day a classmate of hers provokes the wolves and then gets attacked and is presumed dead. He's the son of like a rich attorney, so the entire town is in uproar and they're all going out to kill those wolves because they're a menace to society. And she's like, oh no, and freaks out, and then she finds her wolf in human form on her doorstep, and it's all about like being werewolf BFFs. The werewolf, except the werewolf wants to make out with you because they're straight. I will once again not be finishing this either. I think like 16 or 17-year-old me would have liked this, but alas, I am no longer 16 or 17-year-old me. So, sorry Maggie. I picked this one up because I read the first 3 books in the Raven cycle, also by Maggie Stiefvater, and I really liked those. I did mini reviews of them on my Instagram, and I can try to leave a link below. I don't really know how the YouTube description part works, but I could at least leave my username if you're interested. If you're not, don't bother. I felt that the beginning moved a little fast, and I wasn't really sure what was going on at all, because the chapters start out with, because it comes from the 2 perspectives of the girl and the wolf boy, werewolf. So it starts off with like chapter 1, and then it says Grace, and then it says 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's really the only indication of like when things are happening. It caught me off guard at first. It was a little confusing, and then I felt like it was moving like a little fast, and I couldn't really keep up with it. Plus, it definitely has this, the YA trope of the shy, nerdy, introverted girl who just is not interested in boys, but then she meets a mysterious boy, and she can't stop thinking about him. Yeah, it follows that trope, which I think it's good for girls who are like that, who maybe haven't seen that sort of character in like TV or films. But there's a lot of it in YA, and this is no exception. I found that in the Raven cycle, it was a little bit like that too. Sort of the romance aspect of it, and the main character being a girl, and her being like special and different was also there, but I thought it wasn't as pronounced. Like the romance aspect in the Raven cycle is, but I don't know. I just didn't like this at all. Yeah. I got like almost 200 pages in, and then I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, so those were the 2 books that I tried to read, but ultimately failed. And yeah, sorry. I would have liked, the younger versions of me would have liked these, but alas, it was not meant to be. I don't know if I'm gonna keep making videos on here. I have 2 more stacks of books to go through and videos that I want to film now, but it's the whole editing and putting them up for people to watch that may not happen. The whole continuing to make content also may not happen, but I mean, if you liked this, I do post stuff on my Instagram, or I'm trying to, about this stuff. I also have a blog that I can leave below. Again, I'm not on there all that often. It depends on like how I'm feeling expressive that day. So whether I want to write about it or whether I want to talk about it and like how much I want to write about it. Because if I only want to write a little bit, I'll probably put it on Instagram. But if I want to do like MLA format, 7 pages type of deal, that's much more suited to a blog format. Yeah, so that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and film some more stuff. So I hopefully have at least 3 videos. Who knows? Not I. Not I.